Hey book besties, and welcome back to Remington Tea Time. Today's cozy cup is a Lord of the Rings mug with just some Earl Grey in it because it is pouring down rain outside, and I actually got the night off from work, which works perfectly because my doggies don't like the storm, so I get to snuggle up with them and read tonight. So for today's book review, I actually just finished this book last night. This is book 4 in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, The Gate of the Feral Gods. I was up till almost 3 o'clock in the morning finishing this last night because I was dedicated. I started on Monday and I wanted to have it done so I could decide if I was going to pause on this series or continue reading on. And I think I'm going to continue reading on because this was a 4-star read. So in comparison to book 3, if you watch my previous review, this was so much easier to read and easier to understand than book 3. The level with the Iron Tangle, level 4, was so confusing that it took me out of the series a bit, and it was really hard to comprehend. So I was really, truly not sure that I was going to want to continue the series, which was a shame because, you know, it was book 1 and book 2 are both 4 or 5-star reads for me. So the fact that book 4 brought it right back to me is fantastic. We love that. This book, if you have not finished, scroll away because I am going to spoil some things. The ending, are we serious? Are we serious? Bea is alive and Ferdinand is alive, and they're going to be used against Carl and Princess Donut, supposedly on level 6. Like, I need to know and get started on book 5 ASAP. The teamwork in this book was amazing. I loved how Carl kind of led everybody and everybody worked together. It kind of sort of, for me, felt like foreshadowing of the potential later on rebellion, fingers crossed, against Borant, which Carl actually does start to more directly attack them throughout this book, including accidentally killing Loida, I think is how you say her name, his PR agent that replaced Zev in this book. There was a lot of info dumping in this book, which was a little bit overwhelming, but I feel like that's just kind of the series in general because of how big the dungeon is. And when you think about it, you know, roleplay games are huge, so there's a lot of info dumping. I know when my husband talks about playing World of Warcraft, I'm like, what? Like, how do you do that? I would have a panic attack because there's so much going on. So this book is actually kind of an exercise in controlling and dealing with my anxiety, because this is literally the literature version of a game that I would hate to play because it would be so overwhelming for me. I did find a fun background for this video, which actually shows the bubbles that they, you know, kind of have to inhabit through this level. If you finish this book, you know who this is. This scene here was so much fun. Carl has taken so many more risks in this book that I enjoy, but at the same time I'm like I'm ready for things to start amping up and for him to start like really hitting back and really rebelling against the corporations and stuff that are running the dungeons. The ending with Bea and Brad dying, amazing. We love that. But I'm so curious to see how this next level is going to go and how Carl's kind of emotionally going to handle seeing Bea, but also how Donut's going to handle seeing Bea, because she seems to be kind of more attached to Bea, but obviously she's gone through all of this stuff with Carl, so now she's Carl's cat, not Bea's. Like, who's she gonna pick? Bea, who wanted to give her away, or Carl, who's been literally fighting to save her life on every single level? You know? So I'm super excited to see that. The next part of the Pineapple Cabaret was pretty interesting as well. You got some more behind the scenes stuff. I didn't really fully understand this portion of the like mini series, but I'm super excited to start book 5, which is The Butcher's Masquerade. Yet again, Matt Dinniman is testing me because why are these books so freaking big and they only get bigger? But yeah, if I have not convinced you to read Dungeon Crawler Carl by now, I don't know what's gonna do it, truly. It's a lot, it's chaos, but it's so much fun. I don't think I've ever read anything quite this funny before, and all the real world references and sass from Princess Donut just with every single book get better and better and better. So if you haven't picked it up, pick it up. I don't care if you're somebody who doesn't think that you like these things. I don't like these things. Like I said, I don't like to play role player games. I don't like to play combat games, but I'm reading an entire lit RPG series, 8 books so far, and I'm rating each book 4 to 5 stars. So let that be what you need it to be, but 4-star read on book 4, ready for book 5, and hopefully things get crazier from here on out. We'll see you next time.